He cannot stop staring. The man in the back row has been watching her for 11 minutes. His eyes keep coming back to her hands. She knows. She always knows. When someone stares at you, your body feels it before your brain does. Her breath gets slower. Her skin gets warmer. She does not turn around. She lets him look. Her fingers trace the silver cross at her neck. Not fast, not slow, just enough so the candlelight catches it. This is not an accident. This is a signal. Her brain planned this move without her even thinking. It is called signaling without engagement. She gives him something to chase, but she does not chase back. The brain loves unfinished things. It keeps looking for the ending. She clasps her hands tight. Her black nails press into her own palms. She feels the small pain. Pain keeps her here. It keeps her from smiling too big or moving too fast. Her face stays calm, but her eyes hold a secret. She knows he is watching. Women who stay quiet do not stop feeling. They just stop showing. That is not weakness. That is control. The man shifts in his seat. His heart beats harder. His brain is dumping dopamine into his blood. Dopamine is not joy. It is want. Right now his whole body is built around wanting her. His brain has erased the room. The walls, the candles, the chairs, gone. Only she is left. Scientists call this attention tunneling. One target, everything else disappears. She lowers her eyes, not because she is scared, because looking back would kill the mystery. The mystery is the power. The space between maybe and yes is where she lives. She stays there on purpose. Now here is the deep truth. When a woman does not finish the conversation, the man's brain cannot close the file. An open file in the brain burns more energy than a closed one. His mind will keep working on her for days. Her silence is not nothing. It is a hook he cannot pull out. The most powerful thing a woman can do is feel everything in her body and still say, not yet. Here is where it starts. Not every woman is wired the same way. There are two types, and the man in the back row can feel the difference without knowing why. Type A runs toward people. She needs the room to notice her. She fills every silence because empty air makes her heart race. She sends the first text. She laughs loud. She needs a yes back fast, or her brain starts to panic. She gets her power from being chosen. Then there is type B. She is the one who can feel everything in her body and still say, not yet. She does not run. She waits. When the room goes quiet, her breath gets deeper, not faster. The less she shows, the more alive she feels. This is not shyness. This is how her nervous system is built. She charges her battery by pulling back, not by reaching out. Remember the man in the chapel? If she were type A, she would have turned by now. She would have given him the smile. She would have closed the gap, and his brain would already be done with her. The brain finishes what it catches. But she is type B. She left the gap open. His mind cannot close the file. That open file dumps dopamine into his blood. Dopamine is not happiness. It is the chemical of almost. It is stronger than the chemical of yes. Scientists call this intermittent reinforcement. When you only get the treat sometimes, you try harder than when you get it every time. It is why slot machines own people. It is why he cannot stop thinking about her. When she traced that cross and kept her eyes down, she was not playing hard to get. She was hard to get. Her brain knew what his brain did not. What looks like a wall is actually a door with a lock. What looks like hiding is actually picking. The not yet is not rejection. It is architecture. She is building a space where only the right kind of want can live. Here is her little trick. When a man walks into the chapel, she does not look up. She counts to 3 in her head. 1, 2, 3. Her heart beats a little faster. Her skin feels warm under the habit. But her face stays calm as glass. Those 3 seconds feel like nothing to him, but to his brain, they feel like a hunt. He thinks he found her. He did not. She let him find her. He has sat in this church for a long time. All kinds of men visit. Some men want to talk. Some men only want to stare. Some men pretend they are just praying, but their necks turn red and their hands get sweaty. She has seen every type. She does not need to stare back to know them. She watches from the corner of her eye. She notices who leans forward, who taps his foot, who cannot stop looking at her hands. who swallows hard when she shifts her weight. Her brain makes a list without her body moving at all. Her breath stays slow. Her fingers stay folded, but inside, her skin is awake. This is called secret watching. She is like a spy in her own habit. Then she starts her tricky pattern. She gives him one small gift. Maybe she takes a deeper breath so her shoulders rise and fall once. Maybe her finger touches her cross and slides down the chain 1 inch. Maybe her head tilts a tiny bit and a single strand of hair falls against her cheek. Then she stops. She goes back to being still. Her hands clasped tighter. Her black nails press into her own palms. The small pain keeps her from smiling. She does this 3 times. Give, stop, give, stop, give, stop, give, stop. Each time she stops, the air between them gets hotter. His brain starts to wait for the next gift. It feels like a game he needs to win. But she never lets him win fully. That is the trick. When you get a treat sometimes, but not every time, you try harder. It is like a video game that gives you a prize only once in a while. You keep playing. Her skin tingles because she feels his want, but she does not move. She lets the want hang in the air like smoke. She did not learn this from a book. She learned it by sitting in the same spot and watching men repeat the same mistakes, and she figured out the real reason why. The married man who stays too long taught her something important about the brain. When a man already has a life that feels locked in place, looking at something he cannot have feels like a small escape. His brain tells him this is wrong and this is exciting at the exact same time. That mix makes him stare harder because the guilt actually makes the want feel bigger. It is like when your mom says do not touch the cookie jar, and suddenly that is the only thing you can think about. His breathing gets shallow because his body is fighting a war between stay and go, and that war uses up his air. The young man who blushes taught her another truth. His brain has not learned how to hide want yet. When something excites him, his face turns red because the blood rushes up before his mind can stop it. New hunger is the easiest to feed because his walls are not built yet. He does not know how to play the game, so his eyes get wide and his mouth goes dry and his whole body screams, "I want," before he can cover it up. He is easy to read because he has not practiced hiding. The old quiet man taught her the deepest lesson of all. He does not move. He does not blink extra. But his knuckles turn white on the pew. This is because he has spent years learning to lock want inside a box. The box is invisible, but the lock is real. His hands squeeze the wood because that is where his hidden energy goes. He is proof that old want does not die. It just learns to sit very, very still. And sitting still can be louder than shouting. She watched all 3 and understood the same rule. Every man has a leak somewhere. The married man leaks through his stare. The young man leaks through his face. The old man leaks through his hands. Her job is to find the leak and never plug it. The leak is what keeps them coming back. So how did this sharpness build inside her? It started with her promise. The promise built a wall. The wall made men curious. Curiosity made them watch her. And every day she had to feel their eyes on her skin and not look back. Every day she felt the want to answer them. Her stomach would flip. Her throat would get tight. As she said no, inside her heart, she practiced saying no over and over. At first it was hard. Her hands would shake. Then it got easier. Then it got automatic. This is called muscle memory for your brain. Just like riding a bike, her brain learned to say no without thinking. The no became her superpower. The heat she felt did not go away. She just learned to hold it. And the holding is exactly what made her sharp. That is why she is dangerous in the best way. The habit is not just cloth. It is her costume. The promise is not a cage. It is her tool. And because she never gives everything away, she sees men more clearly than they see her. She knows what they want before they do, because she spent years not giving it. And the not giving is exactly what made her strong. Now here is the secret no one tells you. She looks untouchable. She looks like she wants no one. But that is not true. She wants one very specific kind of man. When he walks in, everything changes. She does not want the man who stares the hardest. She does not want the man who tries to impress her with loud words. She does not want the man who chases. Those men are easy. She has beaten 1,000 of them without moving a finger. But sometimes a man sits down who is different. He is quiet. He watches her 3-second trick. He sees her touch the cross. He sees her tilt her head. And he does nothing. No leaning, no tapping, no chasing. His breath stays slow. His hands stay open on his knees. He is not playing her game. He is waiting to see if she will play his. That is all the room he gets. Because the story is still hers. She notices him immediately. Her brain is like a radar, and he just lit up a color she has never seen before. She does not get nervous. She gets curious. She does not drop her guard. She raises her test. She lets 4 seconds pass instead of 3. She touches the cross twice instead of once. She is not falling. She is collecting data. This is what makes her sharp. Even when someone surprises her, she upgrades her game. If his calm is real, she feels something new. Her breath gets uneven. Her skin burns under the habit. Her finger is gripped across tighter, not to send a signal, but to stop her hand from reaching out. But notice this. She still does not reach. She still counts. She still chooses. Her wall does not fall. It gets a window. And she is the one who decides if that window opens or stays shut. She is not weak. She is awake. She has met someone who speaks her language without saying a word. This man is rare because most men are built to chase. Their brains dump dopamine when they see maybe. They lean in. They burn up. But this man runs on patience. He steps into her gap and does not try to close it. He looks at her like he already knows the woman under the habit. He sees her wall and does not knock it down, but she still holds the lock. That is the point. She wants him because he's the only one who makes her feel seen without making her feel chased. He does not drain her. He sits in the fire with her and does not flinch. He breaks the pattern. But she is the one who chooses to let the pattern break. She is the one who decides if he is worth the risk. And here is the hard truth. This man is very rare. Most men will chase. Most men will lean. Most men will burn up in her silence and blame her for the heat. Only a few can sit still long enough to let her come to them. So here is what I want to know. Men, have you ever wanted someone so badly that you chose to sit still instead of chase? Women, has a man's calm ever made you want to open your window just to crack? And be honest with me. Do you think a man who can truly match her stillness is almost impossible to find? Tell me in the comments. Because the truth is, the nun does not need a hunter. She needs a man who is already home inside himself. And that man, he is the one she never forgets, but only if she decides he is worth remembering.